Shalom and welcome to Hebrew Bites on His Israel. Ivrit la'at la'at. Hebrew slowly, slowly. Well, we're tying in our lessons with the names of the Torah portions, and this week the name is Lech Lecha. Lech Lecha. Now, a wonderful aspect of Hebrew is how often the letters of the word form word pictures, and the sound of the word is very descriptive of the action being described. Here in Lech Lecha, you can see two legs. The Chaf Sofit are pictured going down. Remember the Chaf Sofit letter? And here you have two. So it's as if there are two legs of the word going down, and the sound is Lech Lecha, Lech Lecha, Lech Lecha, Lech Lecha. So it's as if these two letters are walking. There's just a lovely picture there of walking, because Lech Lecha means go forth. It's when God said to Abraham, Avram, Lech Lecha. Start walking, get going, go forth. So there we see in the word the two legs and the rhythmic sound, Lech Lecha. Now let's look at the letters, the separate letters. The first letter is the Lamed. Now we mentioned the Lamed last lesson, and saying it was the lovely letter that reaches up. It's the only letter that has an arm, as it were, reaching up to the heavens. And so we have two here. We have the one arm reaching up, the Lech, and the Lecha. Now what do you notice in the second Lamed? Now you should be noticing that little two dots under the letter. What does that mean? It's a shva and it's a stop sign. So the first Lamed has three dots underneath. Now we haven't come to that vowel sound yet, but on your charts, if you look, it's number 3, which is a segol. Segol. And you can hear the e sound. It's e as an egg. So the 3 little dots is an e sound, as you can hear in the word lech. And here you see a shva again. So that's showing that there's a stop sign here for the chaf sofit. So you've got lech, it stops. Lech, lecha. But this chaf sofit doesn't stop. It keeps going with the sound, the kamatz. That's number 1 on your vowel chart. So when you see that, it's like a little hat, or it's a little T, but it really is the sound, the kamatz, the longer So lech, lecha. And it's good that it has a longer sound, because it's a word that's going forward, that in order to walk, for Abraham to walk and go forward in obedience to God's commands, he had to go forth. So the word even shows that. Lech lecha. And that is a beautiful picture in and of itself. Now, let me just see. Oh, Lech Lecha, which is quite interesting. If you translate Lech Lecha into English directly, it actually means go to you. So in the context, he's saying go forth to a land I will show you. But if you just take Lech Lecha, it means go to you, go to yourself. Lech Lecha. So it was as if God was leading Abraham to a place where he would really find himself. He would really find God's true purpose for himself and who God created him to be as Avraham. And God makes it clear, lech lecha means to you, but it is a masculine form. Remember we were talking about masculine and feminine? So if there's lech lecha, lecha means it's a masculine because he's talking to Abraham. If he'd said go forth to Sarah, he would have said lech lach. Lach is the feminine form of to you. So if it's to me, it's li, to me. And just something to help remember that is in that beautiful Song of Songs verse where it says, Ani le dodi, ani I am to my beloved dodi, ani le dodi bedodi li. My beloved is to me. In other words, he's for me. He comes to me. So li is to me. Now, why am I bringing that up? Because although God says to Abraham, lech lecha, go you to a land I will show you, he makes it very clear that the land to which he will eventually bring Abraham, which eventually would be Israel, the land of Israel, he makes it clear in Leviticus 25:23. He says the land itself was not lecha, it wasn't to Abraham, but he says the land, ha'aretz li, the land is to me, it's my land. And Leviticus 25 says, the land shall not be sold in perpetuity, that is never, for the land is mine, ki li ha'aretz, which is rather beautiful. So, Cindy, I don't know if you have that lovely picture up. It just is a lovely picture of Abraham going forth. But you see, it's like to go forth in obedience to God, we need to raise our hand like the lamed. You can see that the child's hand is up reaching for the father's hand. And it's just a lovely picture there that in Lech Lecha, it's Abram had to raise his hand and take the hand of God, as it were, and God said, I will lead you. Just follow me, go forth, and he will direct. So I'd like to just read a lovely section here from, it's actually from a dash of Drash, which is the one book of commentary on the Torah that I wrote, and it's from Lech Lecha, and is Rabbi Bradley Shavit Artson describes how the vast array of organic and living things serves a purpose higher than that of human whim. Together with humanity, the rest of the cosmos is a living, interlocking symphony to our Creator. We are the tenants of creation, but God is the only Baal Abayit, the only property owner. The land is His. And there you hear Baal Abayit. Remember in Bereshit, God was Rosh Habayit, that it's as if the world is His home that He's created, and we are just tenants living, hopefully, with Him in it. So when we lift our eyes to see His design, and we see it even in the Hebrew letters and the language, and open our ears to hear the sounds and the symphony of God in all of His creation, we also can respond in faith and hear His still small voice saying, go forth, lech lecha. Right, Cindy, if we can just come back with the vocabulary. We've had a very short lesson after Noah last week being like the flood, where you had many, many things, but here we will be finishing with the portion, with the vocabulary that we find in the portion. And then we can go forth, hopefully encouraged in Hebrew, and with our hand in God's hand, really go in the path He directs us. Let's look at the milim, the words, vocabulary. The word for vocabulary is milim, which means words. Parashah is the Torah portion. Now there we have the pei, which we haven't looked at closely yet, but there you see the resh and the shin together, and the hey, parashah. And there's emunah. Avraham had to go forth in emunah, faithfulness. Holech, or holechet is the feminine. So Abraham, hu, holech, and he, which is she. If it was Sarah or Sarah, it would be he holechet. So notice the feminine ending there. Hu holech, he holechet. He walks, she walks. Holech, holechet. Now, you get the word of halacha from there, which is laws of living. It's the Jewish golden rule, as it were, is how do we live according to God's word. And the rabbis have constructed a very vast halacha of how to walk. But if we keep them tied to the word and the Bible, we can learn how to live halacha and how to walk in His will and in His way. Aretz, land or country. There you see the lovely Aleph and the Resh and the Tzadi Sofit. See, it's going down. It's a Tzadi Sofit. And Haaretz is the land. When you see a hey in front of a word, such as Haaretz, it's indicating the whatever it is. In this case, the land of Israel, Haaretz. So there we have this week's portion and vocabulary and some new letters and concepts. And I just say Shalom from Haaretz. Shalom from the land of Israel.